Hello, my name is Carolyn Relford, and today I will be doing a short video on the material that we were advised to do for this assignment. I will first start off with chapter 18, and basically it is referring to marginalized religious communities. It is stated that 70% of religious, well, one of the dominant ones in U.S. is 70% are Christians or Protestants. So that would be majority, and the other remaining 30% consist of Jewish and Muslims. And I'll give you a little information on the Jewish background and their religious, some of their beliefs and their customs. They are very highly educated. They're very much involved in civil rights and human rights. They believe the Torah, which is their holy book, and they also believe in the Ten Commandments. They have some very high days, such as the Day of Atonement, which is Yom Kippur, and I might not be pronouncing that correctly. The Jewish New Year Day is another high holiday. And also, too, they have the Sabbath, which is something that another special day, special high day that they incorporate into their faith. They are pretty much family oriented, like our normal family dynamics. The father is the head of the household. The mother pretty much stays home and nurture and keep the house. The children, of course, obey the father and go by the rules of the father in the home. And some of their strengths are they have a very personal relationship with God, and they also, with them having that personal relationship with God, that helps supports their mental health as well. Because normally, if you have a good relationship mentally, anything that plays on your mind mentally will help your body. Because if you're stressing, and like they say, stress kills and stress can make you sick. If you're not stressing and you're feeling good about yourself mentally, whatever you're thinking, your body will follow. Now, there are some examples of how some people were stating that Jews caused issues. I was thinking about, they brought up in the reading also when Mel Gibson was saying stuff about the Jews, that they caused all the wars. And we're talking about the same Mel Gibson that wrote The Passion. And he was saying they caused a lot of wars. And then people were stating about Iraq and Iran, those wars as well were caused, and those were some people's opinions. But therapists should be aware, just like they should be aware when counseling any group of clients, and that's why it's called multicultural group, because we're all are diverse in so many different ways. So we just have to learn and read and look at things from their point of view in a world view. Next, I would like to talk about the Muslims. Now, they have a very strong family unit as far as religion as wise too. Um, One of the statistics state in the year 2050 that their religion is one of the most fastest growing in the U.S. Um, so it is growing really, really rapidly, really fast. And they say by the year 2050, it will, it's growing just in leaps and bounds. Um, Another thing with the Muslims is they have, like I said, the Quran. That's their holy book. Um, and what they believe is that there is no God, but Muhammad is the messenger. So he is the one um, that they follow and that they appear to. Um, and this Quran, the holy book that they study, pretty much is their Bible with the Jewish people. Like they have the Torah, the Muslims have the Holy Quran, a Quran, and I might be pronouncing that not right either, but that's what they have. Um, some other things, and some of their strengths were that, like I said, they're very religious, they're very disciplined people. Um, Also, let's see here. Hmm, Just trying to look over my notes so I can have that all together. But I do want to add, because every time when you see them, either with the bow tie or they're on the corners or they have their, I forgot what they call the books, but they're out passing out books and they have very strong um, ideologies with men and women, and the man should be the head, and he should provide the woman, and pretty much a lot of religious groups kind of have that dynamics in the family, that the man should be the head and the woman should be home. um, um, I hadn't really seen where they say, well, okay, the woman can get out and work, but a lot of the readings that we had to read where, the woman was pretty much at home. I will go to our next individual group, which was immigrants and refugees. And in these groups of people here, um, they were stating in a 2020 statistics that it was 40 million undocumented immigrants in the USA. The largest group that the largest group of undocumented immigrants, and they came from Mexico. The second group largest after Mexico was China, and then after China, the third group was largest group of undocumented immigrants came from India. And also, too, I wanted to point out some astigmatism that Muslim and Jewish people have, because they did reference it more than once, was that 9/11. And when 9/11 happened, that caused, of course, with the planes, with the Twin Towers in New York, that brought about such setbacks for both of those groups of individuals, the Jewish and Muslim communities. Um, it just was a horrific event that is still commemorated to this day, um, of what happened on 9/11. And I just wanted to point that out. But I am talking about immigrants and refugees right now. Um, let's see here. And some of their points are, some of their strengths are, is that they have a strong spiritual practices. And I've noticed that within the different religious groups, they all have a strong spiritual connection or background, either whether it be, like I stated, the Quran or the Torah or whatever book they may be using, or a support system they have. It's always something spiritual that's strong that connects them. Um, so even with the immigrants and the refugees, they have a very strong family support. Even though a lot of them, when they do come over, like I was stating from Mexico, they they have a real strong um, support system with family and friends. You know, they come here looking for a better place to live, a place to start over. And also, too, it was mentioned in our reading that they come here trying to escape violence of crime, violence of gang violence, and just crimes and everything like that. So they're coming here to look for a better life. And once they get here, a lot of them are undocumented. Some of them are afraid to, go and seek help um, because they are undocumented, and they go places, they might get deported back, and they don't want to go back. They're trying to come to the U.S. To get help. And, some people have this discriminate, of course, against them as well, because they feel like, like I said, since 9/11, and that's been years ago, but they still discriminate because of that. They think that, they're beneath certain people, um, and they're not as highly, not as educated as. But as we know, all those disparities and biases are placed on us all at some point in time in our lives. Um, and even their mental health. They were stating that a lot of them suffer from PTSD because of things that they've gone through. My time is getting kind of short. I want to hit on our last chapter, which was older adults, 65 or older. And it was talking about a lot of things that they go through as well. Well, they say sex is good after 65. So um, I didn't want to think about that, because when I hear over 65, I think about my parents. They have been married for over 62 years, and I am blessed to still have them. Um, but they were also talking about elder abuse. And that brings to mind two recent here. Well, Stan Lee, and that's the guy from that made all the Marvel comics, characters and things of that nature. There were reported cases of elder abuse with him, and you would think, well, he was a famous guy. He made all these Marvel comic movies and characters. But in April of 2018, there were many cases of elder abuse with his family, with different people that were involved in his life, his family, and close friends. Um, that he was being mistreated. And like I said, cases of elder abuse were reported. And here recently, John Amos from Good Times, he was also in the same situation where his daughter reported elder abuse. Um, but the case was thrown out because they stated it wasn't enough evidence to pursue it. But elder abuse is definitely something that's horrible and that's really just kind of sad that that would go around and be happening to our older people and older adults and senior citizens. Um, One thing I do know also that, as we get older, and they were stating that some people, older adults, they fall into getting depressed or they become suicidal or they feel lonely. And, we just have to shower them with love and show them love and concern and that we are there. Um, when I was younger and I'm very involved in my church, we would go to the nursing homes, just to go there to sing and things of that nature, just to see them. And, sometimes some residents there have visitors, some do not. And so it's just a blessing to be able to go and to see them and to bring some sunshine and a little light to their lives. So, um, when we're doing things for Christ, like I say, what you do for Christ will last. So I just want to say, doing and reading these lessons, that it has been a blessing for me to learn more. And the more I learn, the more I grow in Christ. Thank you so much.